My help and the mothers will be there, working behind, even in the moments when you cannot feel it. What should the ashramites, if they truly wish to transform themselves totally, do in order to make things easy for themselves, for others, and for the mother as well? By definition, the ashramite has resolved to dedicate his life to the divine realization. But to be true to his resolution, he must be sincere, faithful, modest, and grateful in his consecration, because these qualities are indispensable for all progress. And progress, a steady and rapid progress, is indispensable to follow the pace of nature's evolutionary advance. Without these qualities, one may have sometimes the appearance of progress, but it is only an appearance, a pretense, and at the first occasion it crumbles down. To be sincere, all the parts of the being must be united in their aspiration for the divine. Not that one part wants and the others refuse or revolt. To be sincere in the aspiration to want the divine for the divine's sake, not for fame or name or prestige or power or any satisfaction of vanity. To be faithful and steady in their consecration, not to have faith one day and the next day, because things are not as they wish them to be, to lose their faith and shelter all sorts of doubts. Doubt is not a sport to indulge in with impunity. It is a poison which drop by drop corrodes the soul. To be modest means to have the correct appreciation of what one is, and never to forget that whatever are one's achievements, they are practically nothing in comparison with what one ought to be to fulfill the Lord's expectation. And above all, to feel in an absolute way one's own incapacity to judge the divine and his ways. To be grateful, never to forget this wonderful grace of the Supreme, who leads each one to his divine goal by the shortest ways, in spite of himself, his ignorance and misunderstandings, in spite of the ego, its protest and its revolts. The pure flame of gratefulness must always burn in our heart, warm, sweet, and bright, to dissolve all egoism and all obscurity. The flame of gratefulness for the Supreme grace who leads the sadhak to his goal, and the more he is grateful, recognizes this action of the grace, and is thankful for it, the shorter is the way. What attitude should they take when their consciousness is covered completely by the dark cloud of falsehood and they cannot even pray to the Lord for his help? Here is Sri Aurobindo's answer, the best that can be given to the second question. Cast away from you these moments of doubt, depression, and the rest which are not part of your true and higher nature. Reject these suggestions of inability, unfitness, and all these irrational movements of an alien force. Remain faithful to the light of your soul, even when it is hidden by clouds. My help and the mothers will be there, working behind, even in the moments when you cannot feel it. The one need for you and for all is to be, even in the darkness of the powers of obscurity of the physical consciousness, stubbornly faithful to your soul and to the remembrance of the divine call. Be faithful and you will conquer. How can they be perfectly faithful and sincere to the new light and the truth? They must not waste these wonderful things, must they? What is the true way to love the Mother and the Lord more and more intensely with an unshaken faith and to give sincerely in every way to the Divine's work, their collaboration, which is the Dharma, law or rule of nature and action, of each soul who is here to want it and to want only that. White Roses, June 26, 1964.